All right, it says David leaves his house jogging down the street at 5 miles an hour. And then once David's gone a third of a mile, then Jacob comes out and he starts running at a rate of 5.5 miles an hour. The part that says following is a little confusing, but they're going to eventually meet up. And then it says, how long will it take Jacob to catch David? Okay, well, the first thing I like to do is I know that rate times time equals distance, so I went ahead and made a little chart, and then we have David and we have Jacob. Now, the question is, how long will it take Jacob? So, we know that David ran longer because he started first, so he ran a longer time. So I'm going to let Jacob be X, and then David is X, that same amount of time that they ran at the same time together, but then David ran longer, so I got to figure out how long he ran when he had gone a third of a mile. So off to the side, I know that since rate times time equals distance, then I can solve for t, and I can say that t is d over r, or d divided by r, which gave me 1/3 divided by 5, because he went a third of a mile, divided by 5 miles an hour. So I flipped and multiplied there, so I had a third of a mile times 1/5, and I got 1/15. So what that means is that amount of time that David ran at the very beginning before Jacob started running was 1/15 of an hour. So I can add that to David's time because he ran longer. So can you see how the two times can compare? Jacob ran for X hours, and then David ran for X plus that original amount of time. Okay, we were also given the rates of each, so I know that David ran 5 miles an hour, and Jacob ran 5.5 miles an hour. And I'm just going to use the values in the chart to find the distance, because I know that rate times time equals distance. So David's distance is just 5 times x plus 1/15. And then Jacob's distance is 5.5 times x. And then since they both started and ended at the same place, they didn't start at the same time, but they started at the same location and ended at the same location. So their distances must be the same, however far they ran. So there's my equation. So 5 times x plus 1/15 must be the same as 5.5x. So now I have one variable, one equation, and I can solve this. So go ahead and distribute the 5. I get 5x plus 5 over 15 equals 5.5x. Now I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides and simplify my 5/15, which is just 1/3. So I end up with 1/3 equals 0.5x. Now, so I don't have to use a calculator, I'm going to change 0.5 to a half because it's the same thing. So 1/3 is the same as 1/2 x. Now, to get rid of the half in front of the x, I'll just multiply both sides by 2. So this gives me 2/3 equals x. Now, what does that mean? If you look back in the chart, that's how long Jacob ran. Remember, he started later, and then David would have run 2/3 plus 1/15. But the question is, how long will it take Jacob to catch David? So we really are only interested in how long Jacob ran, which is x. So the answer then is that Jacob ran 2/3 of an hour, so not a whole hour. It's really 40 minutes. So I hope that makes sense.